Hello students, today we are going to start chapter 1 Understanding Diversity. First, few new terms from the glossary we have to understand. What is the meaning of civilization? The society, culture and way of living of people which are living in a particular region. The society, culture and way of living of people of a particular region, that is civilization. Climate. Sum total of all your weather conditions are called climate is sum of total of all your weather conditions. What are your weather conditions? Weather conditions means that changes day to day. But climate changes means climate is there for a very long period of time. So sum of all your weather conditions in a particular place, that is your climate for a year. Culture means a word, collective word for lifestyle, behavior, attitudes, food, dress, custom, etc. of a group of people. Means the lifestyle of the people, the behavior, their attitude, the food habits, their dress they wear, the custom. What is the meaning of custom? Common way of doing means something the people do regularly. That is your custom. Diversity means state of being different, how the people are different. Dazo means a yak cow. Inherent means existing in something permanently, that exists in something permanently. Now we are going to start introduction of the chapter. As you know, our planet Earth has an enormous variety of plants, animals, birds and insects. What is the meaning of enormous? Enormous means very large or very big variety of plants, animals, birds and insects are there. If you visited a zoo, you must have watched different kinds of animals and birds are there. And they all are different in their appearance, their size, their shape and other aspects. Similarly, our Mother Nature has created diversity all around us in several forms. We have done what is the meaning of diversity. Diversity means state of being different. It means the looks, opinions, beliefs, practices and means of expression of the people. Means everybody's opinion is different about something, their beliefs are different, their practices are different, their way of expressing is different. Diversity is a natural, normal and inherent in life on earth. Inherent means existing in something permanently. As you know, all of us tolerate and respect diversity, that we respect all the religions in our country. People who belong to different religions, caste and culture. There are various people in our country which belongs to different religions, caste and culture. There are more than 1600 languages spoken in India. As you know, there are more than 1600 languages that are spoken in India. The people of Punjab, they prefer to eat chapati and dal. Whereas if I talk about the people of Bengal and Odisha, they prefer to eat rice and fish. South Indian people would like to have dosa, vada or idli. Villager, if you go to a village, you must have seen the people are wearing their dhoti and kurta. Whereas a town dweller means a people who is living in a town, person who is living in a town. He would like to dress in a pair of trousers or shirts. Means there is difference in dressing sense also of a villager and a town dweller. Now our cultural diversity. India has an ancient civilization. Ancient means very old civilization we are having with a long history. Civilization, I have told you the meaning, the society, culture and way of living of a people of a particular region. The migration of the people. People used to migrate from one place to another. This is very important factor in the development of cultural diversity. Vital means important. People from other cultures and other civilization, when the people come from other cities or they come from other states or countries, they bring their tradition, custom and lifestyle. When the people of other culture, civilization, they brought with them their tradition, customs and lifestyles. Their traditions got intermixed with our tradition, means our pre-existing traditions got mixed with their traditions. People from India have gone to different parts of the world. As you know, the people of India, they are in USA, Canada, Australia, many countries of the world. And Indians have carried their custom and traditions with them. We have carried our customs and traditions also with the other, whichever country we are going. In various fields such as art, music, dance, religion, language, India has been influenced by the fusion of many cultures. Means fusion means like if I talk about Carnatic music, and some sitar music of Indian. So they are intermixed. Like dance forms also are intermixed, like fusion of the dance forms. Hip hop with Kathakali, like this. This is a fusion. Means when two things of different places are intermixed, that means fusion. Two cultures are mixed. People following various religions like Hindu, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Sikhs, Parsis, Jains, etc. We all live in one country and we all are united. India is a secular country. Secular means the Constitution of India guarantees that every citizen freedom to practice and propagate means to spread any religion and follow any mode of worship. Secular means in our country India there is no official religion of the country. Anybody can practice and propagate any religion and follow any mode of worship. If I am a Hindu, I can go to Gurdwara also, I can go to mosque also. Okay, it is church also. It is not necessary that I should go to temple only. It is my choice. I am having freedom to practice and propagate. Propagate means to spread any religion. Hindus pray in temple, Sikhs pray in gurudwaras, Christian pray in a church, and Muslims offer namaz in masjid and mosque. This you already know. Baisakhi is a popular festival of Punjab. Onam, celebrated in Kerala. Holi, Diwali, Chhat are celebrated with a pomp and splendor, means with a very joy and happiness we celebrate these festivals in Bihar. The holy books of Hindus are Ramayana, the Gita, the Vedas, Purans. The holy books of Muslims is the Quran, the holy book of the Sikh is the Guru Granth Sahib, and the holy book of Christian is the Bible. People belonging to various castes live in India. As you know, in India various caste people live, and they are categorized as upper caste people, scheduled caste people, and other backward classes. This your scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and OBC, other backward classes people, has been given reservation in the constitutional, means legislative and provincial assembly, means the seats are reserved for these people. People which belong to various castes that live in India, means the scheduled caste and OBC, they have been given what? Reservation. As you know, the SC/BC people have been given reservation in India. Seats are reserved for them. Some percentage seats are reserved for them. See, this is a picture. This shows the unity in diversity. Like other cultures are there, customs and tradition of the people are different, but still we are united as a one. What promotes diversity? Historical means the past events, and the geographical factors which are prevailing in particular region. These influence the diversity of a region. The history of many places shows us that how different cultural influences have to shape life and culture there. History means the past events of many places show us that how different culture influence the shape and life of the people there. Regions became very diverse. Regions are very diverse because of their unique histories. Like you must have seen the movie Padmavat, they tell about the history of the Rajputs. There are many movies that tell us about the histories. So there are histories of many particular regions. Okay, their unique history is there, because of that they are diverse. Diversity also comes into play when people adapt their lives to various climates. Like some people are living in mountain area, some are living in desert area, some are living in southern coastal area. So there also means diversity comes to play when people adapt to various climates. Like the people living in near the coastal areas, the moderate type of climate is there. Okay. So here we will discuss also people living near sea have different food habits. Okay, their dressing also is different. However, the people who are living in the plains, like northern plains we are living, and the mountain regions, their food habit is different. Like if I talk about Bangalore, capital of Karnataka, has a moderate climate because it is near sea. It is having moderate climate. People hardly put woolen clothes there. Okay, they don't wear woolen clothes. Delhi has an extreme climate. People wear light cotton clothes in summer and woolen clothes in winter. Delhi has a very extreme climate, means it in summers it is extremely hot, in winters it is extremely cold. So in summers people wear light cotton clothes because cotton absorbs sweat, and woolen clothes in winters. Punjab was the cradle of Harappan civilization. Cradle means emerged, means Harappan civilization emerged in Punjab. The Aryans also flourished there in Punjab only before Aryans moved to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Many races of people entered India from northwest. Northwest, which country is there? Pakistan. Now the people which are coming from the northwest, they are settled in Punjab. They adopted the local culture and tradition, what is being followed in Punjab. They adapted that culture and tradition only. Bihar witnessed no such intermixing of the people of different races and culture. In Bihar, there is no such intermixing of the people from any other race or any other culture. Punjab is having moderate type of or little rainfall. Most of the parts of Punjab gets moderate to little rainfall. And the soil texture, when you touch the soil, it is sand and clay. Wheat, it is wheat, WHEAT, is grown there on a large scale. Wheat is grown there on a large scale. And staple diet is chapati and dal, means wheat, WHEAT, spelling mistake is there, is grown there on a large scale, and the staple diet is chapati and dal there in Punjab. Most of the Bihar gets moderate to heavy rainfall with floods during the monsoon. Heavy rainfall is there in Bihar, sometimes flood is there. Flood means overflow of water is there than the normal limits. Soil has more clay content in Bihar. Paddy is grown there on a large scale, which is the staple diet. Staple means eaten regularly, is cooked rice. People of Bihar, they eat cooked rice. Kerala, a case study. As you know, Kerala is in southwest corner of India. It is a narrow strip of land between your Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Like this is, here is your Kerala. Between Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal means Arabian Sea and Western Ghats, means this is the land between Arabian Sea and Western Ghat, because this part is the eastern side, this is the western side. Here is your what? Bay of Arabian Sea, and here is your Bay of Bengal. So you can write this also, like Kerala is a narrow strip of land between the Arabian Sea and the Western Ghats. Okay, you can write the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea also. Thousands of coconut trees and coconut palms cover the entire state. Very beautiful beaches are there in Kerala. Different religion people live in Kerala very peacefully, like Hindus, Christians, Muslim, Jews, Buddhists, have ethnic diversity. Jews are the people, they are also a type of religion. Okay, like Buddhist, Jews is also a type of religion. They are having their ethnic diversity. Ethnic means connected with a particular religion. Okay, they are connected with these types of religion. They live in unity, means they all are living together in a unity. Onam is main festival of Kerala. We have done this. Christmas, Eid, Vishnu are other religious festival of Kerala. During Onam, snake boat race is there that held in backwaters of Alpuza. Alpuza is a city in Kerala. There, the Onam is celebrated with a boat race, snake boat race. Tourist attraction is there. Greatest tourist attraction is there. Number of spices like cloves, cardamoms, and peppers are grown in the state. Cloves means long, cardamom, elaichi, and pepper means kali mirchi or black pepper are grown in the state. Its spices attract the traders and first to arrive were the Jews and the Arabs. Jews and the Arabs, they came from other countries to India. Jews were the people who earlier were living in Germany. Kerala was visited by Saint Thomas, an apostle of Christ 2000 years ago. He brought Christianity to Kerala. Means he was an apostle. Apostle means they are from the 12 men, those who are selected from the Christ, Jesus Christ. They select those 12 men to spread the teaching of the Jesus Christ. Okay, so Saint Thomas was one of them. He came to Kerala and brought Christianity to Kerala. Many Arabs traders settled down in Kerala. Ibn Battuta visited Kerala 7 years ago and wrote a travelogue on Kerala. Travelogue means how his journey was. He described the lives of the Muslims and how well respected they were in the state. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor from Portugal, he came and discovered the sea route to India from Europe. Came from Europe. And Laden did Kozhikode, Calicut in AD 1498. Fishing is flourishing industry and Chinese influence is also visible here. Fishing is main activity here. Chena wala, a fry pan or chena chatti. Chena means China. Okay, this is called their fishing net. People grow and eat rice, vegetables, fish, rubber, tobacco, coffee are grown are the cash crops here. Cash crop means which are sale. Okay, the crops which are sell in the market. Kathakali is a classical dance form of Kerala, famous all over the world. Mohiniyattam is another classical dance form of Kerala. Kalairi Pattu is a martial art dance form of Kerala. The religious and cultural festivals of Kerala show us the variety in the state. Okay, this shows us the variety in Kerala state. Ladakh, a case study. Ladakh is a desert and mountain in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. It is now a union territory. It is divided into two districts, Leh and Kargil. It is surrounded by mountain in the Karakoram in the north and the Great Himalaya in the south. When you see the Ladakh, it is what? Surrounded by mountains, Karakoram in the north and Great Himalaya in the south. By two parallel chains, Ladakh range and Zaskar range. Ladakh range is also up, Zaskar range is also up. They are in the northern parts of Jammu and Kashmir. It hardly receives any rain, is covered by snow most of the year, and agriculture is almost impossible here. For drinking water also, people have to depend when the snow will melt, then only they will drink water. People rear sheep. Sheep here are special as they produce pashmina wool. Pashmina wool is very warm wool, beta. This wool is very expensive also. Ladakhis sell the wool to traders from Kashmir, and pashmina shawls are mostly made in Kashmir only. The people eat meat, milk products like cheese and butter from the goats, cows, dazos we have done, yak cows, and sheep they rear. Though Ladakh is a desert, it attracted traders because of its high passes. Because high passes means the mountainous area is there. That's why the traders come from there. It is a resting point of travelers on the ancient trade routes to Central Asia and beyond. When the people are going to Central Asia and beyond that, the Ladakh is a place where the travelers rest. Caravans also pass through Ladakh to Tibet carrying textile caravans, carts which go carrying textiles, spices, raw silk, carpets. Ladakh is also known as Little Tibet. Why it is known as Little Tibet? It is a Buddhist land and has great cultural affinity with Tibet. Okay, there you can see that Tibet people live. Tibetan. Buddhism reached Tibet through it only. It is a land of monasteries. Monastery means gompas. The mural painting in the monasteries decorate the wall with images of various aspects of Buddhism. Monasteries is a place, beta, where the people go for prayer. So, monasteries are decorated with the walls and the images of the Buddhism, means Buddhas. The main theme of Ladakh tradition theatre is stories based on the life of Buddha. Most famous fairs and festivals of Ladakh are Losar, celebrated as a new year there. Shaili Shupla is the harvest festival. Biggest summer festival is Hemas Cheshu. Okay, it is also called Hemas only. Local version of the Tibetan national epic is Kesar Saga that are sung by mostly Muslims and Buddhists there. The people means they celebrate Losar as a new year there, and Shaili Shulpa harvest festival when they cut their crops. Biggest summer festival is Hemas Cheshu, and local version means Tibetan national epic Kesar Saga. These are sung by most of the Muslims and Buddhists there. A monastery. It is an interesting fact that many of the annual festivals of Ladakh take place in winters. Lamas, okay, dressed in colorful dresses. Lamas means the monks there, they colorful dresses they are wearing, masks. Okay, lamas are the basically people who live there monastery. They wear colorful dresses, wearing masks to perform the dance, long horns, candles, music. These colorful music performance attract the people far and near to see them. Why does diversity add to our lives? Diversity enrich our lives. It adds color, spices to our existence. We Indians speak different languages, as you all know. Food we eat, they are different. Festivals we celebrate are different. We wear several dresses which are different. Without diversity, our life will be boring. It will be less enjoyable. If all the people will be of single profession, like all the people in the world are businessmen, then human life will not exist. Imagine if all were farmers who would provide us clothes, house, medicine. Okay, if who will look care of our health if there were no doctors? In absence of barber, who would give us haircut? So diversity is very much essential. UNESCO, full form you know, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, has played a crucial role, very important role in promoting the cultural diversity concern. UNESCO's Universal Declaration on Cultural Diversity, it was adopted by 192 state members. Means member states were 192 that time. It emphasized that respect for cultural diversity means different cultures, we should respect their diversity. Intellectual dialogue is the best guarantee of lasting progress. Means if all the people will live together, okay, intellectual dialogue means they will understand each other's opinion and everything, that our progress will be lasting, peace will be there in the country, and the country will develop also. The phrase unity in diversity was coined by our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. In his book, in this book, The Diversity of India, he emphasized that unity and integrity of India is inherent in its civilization. Means from civilization only we have learned that we should live in unity and integrity from the ancient time only. There is a cultural unity and continuity since Harappan civilization. When Harappan civilization used to exist, till that time only the people are living in unity. And the present age also, we people are also living unity. See your neighborhood, different kinds of people are living there. Okay, but you are living unitedly, na? He says Indian unity is not something imposed from outside. Indian unity is not something somebody has imposed us from outside. Somebody has forced us to do that so. It is something deeper and within its fold. Means we have learned this from our culture only. It is the widest tolerance of beliefs. Means we are respecting each other's beliefs, each other's customs. Every variety is acknowledged and even encouraged by us. Every variety means every person who belongs to different religion, different caste, we are acknowledging them. Okay, we are even encouraging them. During the freedom struggle, India from all walks of life joined hands to oppose the Britishers. As you know, 2000 means 200 years, Britishers, they ruled over India. So citizens from all caste, religions, regions, they for shoulder to shoulder under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, okay, they came up from the foreign rule. Even the women's also, they also come up on the streets. They are saying when the freedom struggle was going on, okay, the citizens from all caste, religion, regions, they come under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi to win the freedom from the foreign rule. The unity was first seen during the rebellion. Rebellion means to oppose something of 1857, which is rightly called the first war of national independence. After the Jallianwala Bagh massacre means the people were killed in Amritsar 13th April 1919. The whole India stood as one nation to condemn the British atrocity. Means to come that British should come down, okay, that we are the one nation, how they have killed the Indian people in Jallianwala Bagh. On that day, a large unarmed crowd had gathered in Jallianwala Bagh. As no Baisakhi fair was there, people were gathered in Jallianwala Bagh. Okay, so what happened? People were protesting, means to protest against the arrest of the popular leaders. Indians popular leaders were arrested. To protest against that, they were means gathered in Jallianwala Bagh. What happened? General Dyer, the military commander of Amritsar, ordered his troops means army men, to open fire. Okay, they have not given the people a chance there. Okay, the people start running here and there. Thousands people were killed and some were wounded. Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, and other fought unitedly against the Britishers. Sacrificed their lives. Some of the people, they sacrificed their lives and won freedom. Songs and symbols that emerged during the freedom struggle are reminders of our respect for diversity. Means they are talking about at the time of Britishers also, all the cultural people they come together as one to fight against the Britishers. And songs and symbols also they made as a reminders to respect our diversity. Freedom movement, it cemented that Indian unity and integrity is there. Means Indians are united and integrity is there in the Indians. Despite so many diversities, India is shining example of unity in diversity. Means diverse people lives in India, but still we are united. India is indeed like a garland. Garland means a bouquet, not a bouquet, means a garden containing of flowers, various hues and colors. Various hues and colors are there. National anthem Rabindranath Tagore song Jana Gana Mana was adopted by Constituent Assembly as the national anthem of India on 24th January 1950. It was first sang on 27th December 1911 at the Calcutta session of the Congress. This you must learn, that who means compose your national anthem. It is Rabindranath Tagore. And when it was adopted by Constituent Assembly as a national anthem, 24 January 1950. It was sung first on 27th December 1919. So the anthem explains the diversity and unity of India. This is your anthem, you know. Although Hindi is the official language, India is believed to have 1652 mother tongues, of which 33 are spoken over by the people, numbering over a lakh. Means 1 lakh, means more than 1 lakh people, they speak 33 languages. Means, and there are 1652 mother tongues in India, but Hindi is our official language. Two most famous books were written by Jawaharlal Nehru are The Discovery of India and The Glimpses of World History. Our national anthem was composed by Rabindranath Tagore, while our national song was composed by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. National anthem is Jana Gana Mana and national song is Vande Matram. Okay, and attend the Zoom class also for deeper discussion. Thank you and have a nice day.